Imagine walking into a forest for adventure but never returning. This isn't just a legend, it's real. Deep in the heart of Transylvania, Romania, lies the Hoia-Baciu Forest, one of the most haunted places in the world. It's been called the Bermuda Triangle of Romania, a place where strange lights float between the trees. Electronics fail without explanation, and those who enter sometimes never come out. But what if I told you that something far worse lurks within? Something that watches. Something that waits. This is the true story of a photographer's last journey into the Hoia-Baciu Forest. In 2016, a man named Adrian Cernescu, a seasoned photographer and explorer, set out to document the eerie beauty of Hoia-Baciu. Unlike most visitors who stayed close to the edges, Adrian wanted to go deeper, beyond the famous clearing, past the twisted trees, and into the heart of the unknown. He wanted to prove that the stories were just myths. He never returned. His disappearance wasn't the first. Over the decades, hikers, tourists, even military personnel have gone missing, their bodies never recovered. The Romanian government, while never officially acknowledging paranormal activity, has subtly discouraged extensive exploration. But Adrian was determined. He equipped himself with GPS trackers, multiple cameras, and a satellite phone. He assured his family he would check in every 3 hours. The first call came at 1 p.m. He had reached the famous Clearing of the Circle, a place devoid of trees where no vegetation grows, despite ideal soil conditions. Scientists have studied this phenomenon for years, yet no one has an explanation. Adrian described the feeling of being watched. He laughed it off. At 4:09 p.m., his voice had changed. He sounded anxious. "I feel like I'm being followed," he said. "I keep hearing footsteps, but there's no one here." He paused. "At least, I don't think there is." The final call came at 7:13 p.m. It lasted only 43 seconds. Adrian was whispering, "Something is wrong. My GPS is going crazy. My compass is spinning. The trees, they're not right. I have to go." Then, silence. Authorities launched a search party. They found his tent, untouched. His backpack lay beside it. His cameras were intact, but the memory cards were blank. No photos, no videos, nothing. His footprints led into the trees, but never came out. It was as if the forest had swallowed him whole. Scientists and skeptics have tried to explain Hoia-Baciu's bizarre nature. Some believe that high levels of electromagnetic activity cause hallucinations and disorientation. Others suggest that underground mineral deposits disrupt navigation equipment. But then, there are the accounts, hundreds of them, of people experiencing lost time. Some claim they walked for hours, only to find themselves back at their starting point, as if the forest itself had rearranged. Others report strange burns or scratches appearing on their skin, without any recollection of injury. One of the most chilling incidents occurred in the 1960s. A 5-year-old girl disappeared into the forest. Despite search efforts, she was never found. 5 years later, she walked out, wearing the same clothes, untouched by time. When asked where she had been, she could not remember. UFO enthusiasts argue that Hoia-Baciu is a hotspot for extraterrestrial activity. Several photos taken in the area depict strange, hovering lights. In 1968, a biologist named Alexandru Sift captured images of a metallic disc-shaped object above the trees. The Romanian military dismissed it as a weather anomaly, but locals weren't convinced. What happened to Adrian? Some say he fell victim to the forest's disorienting effects, losing himself in its endless maze. Others believe he was taken by something not of this world. The truth remains unknown. His case remains open. His family still waits for answers. But there's one thing we know for certain. The Hoia-Baciu Forest is not just another tourist destination. It's a place where reality bends. A place where the line between the living and the dead is thinner than we'd like to believe. And if you ever find yourself walking among its twisted trees, listen closely, because something might be listening back. If this story sent chills down your spine, hit that like button. Have you ever experienced something unexplainable? Drop your story in the comments. And if you want more terrifying tales of the unknown, don't forget to subscribe, because the world is full of mysteries, and we're just getting started.